Hello, and thanks for staying with us on Asset Television. Here is the news at this hour. I am Emmanuel Akwaya. First, the headlines. Georgia Kume says Nigeria is set to overcome insecurity. Omokri, Kayode, others await Senate clearance. Custom extends fast-track scheme. Secretary to Government of the Federation, SGF Senator George Akume, has called on Nigerians to come together in one accord and fight against the insecurity currently plaguing the country. Akume, who was represented by his chief of staff, made a call at a public lecture organized by the Leadership Institute of Nigeria in collaboration with the African Leadership Institute USA. According to the SGF, Nigerians must not allow ethnicity to overshadow its citizens, adding that leadership is about service and not ceremonial. Akume maintains that Nigerians must always follow compassion to guide their actions and unite to build one indivisible country. He said if Nigeria was able to help South Africa to achieve self-rule, can be able to come back as one. Akume said President Tinubu has continued to work hard to keep the country in one piece, as he has increased investment in security, urging Nigerians to be patient with the administration. Nigerians should be patient and there should be collective sacrifice towards a common goal. Nigerians, he pleads, should believe in Tinubu's administration to restore hope.
What does it profit you if you have everything but do not have a life that changes? Leadership is not the titles, but how much we are able to affect others and change people. How much we are willing to stoop and lift the downtrodden. So I had a contradiction with myself, my life, and the dissatisfaction that perhaps what Nigeria needed was not more positions, but an understanding really of what leadership was. Today in the crowd are two of my political colleagues that will still work together. Senator Tigado, with whom we were in Senate in 1983, and Elder Simon Shango, both of whom we have continued to look at our society and worried deeply that our country has reached the level it has gone.
However, Professor Yoweri Haye, in his address of welcome, blamed Nigerian leaders for leaving relevance for irrelevance. According to him, Nigeria ought to be the best country in the world, but it degenerated into intolerance and no longer has the values for which it was known to have. Haye says the country has now become an IDP camp where its citizens live in fear.
Progress and national renewal. Let me also commend Justice Cheryl L. Grant for a deeply reflective lecture on Africa's place in a changing world. Our message challenges us to think boldly about leadership that is ethical, visionary, and people-centered. Leadership, as we know, is not about holding office. It is about holding responsibility. It is about building institutions that outlive us and maturing values that strengthen our democracy. Our nation stands at a defining moment. We face challenges, but we also possess extraordinary opportunities. What we need most is leadership that is driven by service, guided by integrity, and committed to the long-term stability and prosperity of Nigeria. This is why today's celebration of leadership excellence is not just ceremonial. It is a call to all of us to continue raising the bar of public service. My dear compatriots, Nigeria is strongest when we choose unity over division. We must never allow ethnicity, region, or religion to overshadow the simple truth that we are first and foremost human beings created by God Almighty, bound by shared hopes and shared struggles as Nigerians. Insecurity has touched many families across different parts of our country. We mourn every life lost, every kidnapping, and every displacement. These are not statistics, they are human stories. They remind us that compassion must guide our actions and the sanctity of human life must remain at the center of our national conscience, progress, and national.
Keynote speaker at the event, Justice Cheryl Grant, advised Nigerians to have faith using the numerical strength to propel to greater heights. She urged Nigerians to always embrace a can-do spirit in order to overcome impending challenges.
Leaders must have faith in their God, in their country, in their abilities, in order to nurture hope in times of trouble and fear. Hope energizes you to move to a better space, even when you do not feel like it. Because transformative moves happen when you move. I like that Nike logo. Some of you may be familiar with Jordan's Nike logo, the swoosh and the mantra, just do it. That Nike transformative brand with that swoosh earned Nike over $90 billion to build an institution.
Other attendees include Aim Pius Aim, Farida Waziri, Simon Shango. The Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs on Thursday screened two former ministers, Femi Fani-Kayode and Abdulrahman Dambazua, for ambassadorial appointment. Both nominees, who previously served as Minister of Aviation and Minister of Interior respectively, had earlier undergone full Senate screening during their ministerial confirmation in past administrations. Other nominees screened by the committee included former INEC chairman Yakub Mahmood, wife of late Governor of Oyo State Abiola Ajimobi, Florence Ajimobi, Reno Omokri, among others. After brief introductions, former ministers, ambassadors, and lawmakers were asked to take a bow and leave, in line with Senate tradition, and citing their earlier clearance by the Senate and their extensive public service experience. Senate leader Opeyemi Bamidele defended the continued use of the take a bow and go procedure for certain nominees, saying it is reserved for individuals with established and verifiable records of public service. The screening session, conducted in batches of 5 nominees each, experienced a mild drama during Omokri's turn. Senator Mohammed Ali Udume and Adams Oshimole openly disagreed on how his clearance should proceed.
Senator Ndume, are you opposed to Omokri's nomination? No. Senator Oshimole, are you opposed to the nomination?
I have seconded it over and over 100%.
So you're on the same page?
You're on the same page. I say another to put the question. Put the question.
The Secretary colleagues, a motion has been moved and seconded. Those in support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Their confirmation now awaits ratification by the Senate in plenary. Chairman of Nigeria Union of Journalists FCT Council, Comrade Grace Ike, last week made a resounding request on the need of journalists owning their own houses in Abuja. Ike said it has become necessary and expedient for journalists who are opinion modelers and stakeholders in Nigeria to be properly housed.
Your unwavering support for the journalism profession through platforms like Housing TV Show has amplified our voices on critical issues like affordable housing. The AUJFCT salutes your leadership and partnership, and we do not take this for granted. To our distinguished guests from Namibia, we say welcome. Your presence inspires us across border, and it also encourages cross-border collaboration in housing solutions. To the Honorable Minister, whose excellence in developing housing schemes can never go unnoticed, we look forward to your continued leadership, and we look forward to your continued partnership. And to the Managing Director of Federal Mortgage Bank, we see you not just as financiers, but as partners in progress. because journalists shape public discourse. Lend us your expertise to make home ownership a reality for media professionals who serve the nation tirelessly. As we convene tonight, I'm excited to announce that the NUJFCT is rebranding her project to drive even greater impact in the housing industry and also the housing advocacy as well as media empowerment. This strategic push positions us to innovate and expand our initiatives, and we eagerly await collaboration from our distinguished partners seated here tonight. Join us in this renewed journey to amplify our shared mission and promote a renewed hope for a renewed NUJFCT for journalists. Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Housing, we gather tonight with hope renewed. You promised the journalist village a beacon of dignity for journalists who expose truth from FCT governance to national development. That promise ignited dreams across newsroom, Your Excellency.
She made the request while delivering her keynote address at event organized by African Housing Awards 2025 in Abuja. The Nigerian Union of Journalists NUJ-FCT Council on Friday, December 12, 2025 held its annual Christmas carol at the NUJ-FCT Council Abuja, using the occasion to reaffirm journalism's role as a force for truth, justice and peace in a deeply divided world. The event themed Spreading Truth, Sharing Peace brought together journalists, media executives, policymakers and guests from across the FCT, highlighting the profession's influence on national development and social cohesion. In her welcome address, NUJ-FCT Council Chairman Comrade Grace Ike praised journalists for standing as advocates for justice and amplifiers of voices that drive governance and development. She described the media as a guiding light in difficult times, noting that truth's light has the power to overcome darkness. Comrade Ike emphasized that responsible journalism should heal rather than divide society, urging media professionals to remain committed to ethical reporting. She also expressed appreciation to partners and stakeholders for their support throughout 2025. She called for stronger collaboration in 2026, noting that journalists' resilience amid professional and economic challenges continue to inspire leadership within the union. We'll take a break now to come back with more reports. Welcome back. The Nigerian Customs Service has announced extension for migration from Fast Track Scheme to Authorized Economic Operation. AEO Deputy Controller of Customs and National Public Relations Officer of the Service, Abdullahi Maiwada, disclosed the extension in a statement on Thursday, explaining that it aligns with the service's commitment to deepening trade facilitation, securing supply chain, and strengthening compliance in line with global standards. Consequently, all existing fast-track beneficiaries who are yet to complete their migration are advised to initiate and conclude their AEO applications through the official platform. The extended timeline provides operators with ample opportunity to meet program requirements and secure AEO certification without disruption to their business operations. To further support stakeholders and sustain ongoing sensitization efforts, the service will convene another comprehensive stakeholders engagement forum to provide practical guidance on the migration process, demonstrate application procedures, and address compliance-related concerns. The Comptroller General of Nigeria Customs Service, Adewale Adeniyi, last Wednesday received a delegation of the American Business Council (ABC) on a courtesy visit to the Customs House, Maitama, Abuja, with both sides agreeing to deepen structured engagements aimed at improving trade facilitation and strengthening investors' confidence. Welcoming the delegation, CGC Adeniyi said the Nigerian Customs Service has, in recent years, made deliberate efforts to institutionalize transparency, stakeholder consultation, and regular engagement with industry players. He stated that the service has prioritized reforms that enhance predictability for traders, including the deployment of the one-stop shop initiative across major commands to streamline processes and reduce delays during cargo examination and documentation. Responding to concerns raised by ABC member companies, the CGC assured the delegation that customs will continue to address operational challenges within its mandate. He emphasized that trade facilitation remains a shared responsibility among multiple agencies and underscored the importance of sustained dialogue to resolve issues as they arise. Speaking earlier, Chief Executive Officer of the American Business Council, Margaret Olele, said the visit was aimed at strengthening ties with the Nigerian Customs Service. She acknowledged that she described as clear improvements in port processes, communication channels, and the ease of resolving trade-related inquiries. She added that many American companies operating in Nigeria have reported improved clarity in customs procedures over the past year. Lagos-based TikTok star and live streamer Hamzat Habib, otherwise known as Pella, has been hospitalized after intentionally crashing his car during a live broadcast on the Lekki-Epe Expressway. The media learned that the incident happened on Sunday during a viral live stream he titled RIP Pella. Pella, who was alone in his newly purchased Mercedes-Benz, showed signs of distress while also speaking emotionally on the phone with a lady Jarvis amid speculations of a breakup. The live stream showed him eventually driving off before crashing his vehicle into a stone barrier, causing significant damage. Adeyeye Ajayi, personal assistant to the former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, has dismissed circulating reports claiming that the elder statesman is dead. In a statement issued on Sunday, Ajayi described the reports as false and misleading, warning that the unverified claims could cause unnecessary panic among the public. He urged Nigerians to disregard the rumors, stressing that Gowon is very much alive and in good health. Ajayi added that Gowon remains engaged in public affairs and continues to contribute meaningfully to national discourse. The Aide cautioned against spreading unverified information, noting that such rumors could distress family members, associates, and the public. No fewer than 10 players have reported to the Super Eagles camp as preparations begin for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. The Super Eagles camp officially opened on Sunday at the Residence Hotel, Cairo, with all coaches and backroom staff already in attendance ahead of the tournament. The news agency of Nigeria reports that goalkeeper Francis Uzoho was the first player to arrive, signaling the start of full squad mobilization. Uzoho was named as one of 3 goalkeepers in head coach Eric Chele's 28-man squad, marking his return to the national team setup after more than a year on the sidelines. Stanley Wabali followed as the second arrival, while Fisayo Dele Bashiru and Ebenezer Akinsamiro later arrived to raise the number in camp to 4. 6 more players, Amas Obasogi, Semi Ajayi, Ademola Lukman, Igowu Ogbu, Bright Osayi Samuel, and Tochukwu Nnadi arrived later, bringing the total number in camp to 10. More players are expected to join in the coming hours as Nigeria intensifies preparations for the continental showpiece. And that's the news for this hour. Do follow us on all our social media handles. I'm Emmanuel Akwaya.